If you're tired of being the nice guy who always gets passed up, or the friend who listens to her talk about other men, then you're about to get a wake-up call. The way you talk to a woman can flip a switch inside her. It can turn you from forgettable to unforgettable. It can take you from invisible to the man she thinks about at night. The truth is simple. Attraction starts in the mind. And if you know how to speak in a way that stirs her mentally, you unlock a door most men don't even know exists. This isn't about cheesy pickup lines or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about learning the tone, the rhythm, the words, and the confidence that creates chemistry. Women are tuned in to your energy, your intention, and your presence. And when you know how to play with that, everything changes. Your words become more than just talk. They become an experience for her, a mental flirtation, a subtle pull, a quiet dare. In today's dating world, men who understand communication are rare. Most try too hard, overthink, or say too much. But when you know how to speak to her in the right way, you trigger a response she can't explain, and often can't resist. This video will give you 7 specific ways to talk that build tension, spark desire, and put you in her thoughts long after the conversation ends. These aren't tricks, they're skills. Once you learn them, you'll notice how differently women react to you. The eye contact, the way they lean in, the curiosity, the excitement. 1. Speak slower. Most guys talk fast because they're nervous. They don't even realize it. But when you talk too fast, it sends a message you don't want, that you're unsure, uncomfortable, and just trying to get it over with. It kills the mood. Women pick up on that energy instantly. Fast talk sounds rushed, needy, and weak. Now, imagine the opposite. A man who speaks slowly, calmly, and deliberately. His words carry weight. His tone is controlled. He doesn't race to fill the silence. That man creates tension without trying. That man makes a woman lean in without even touching her. That man sounds like he's in control of himself, the moment, and the room. Slowing down your speech isn't just about pacing. It's about presence. When you speak slower, you become more aware of your tone. You're not just reacting, you're directing. You're choosing your words, you're giving them time to land, and you're showing her that you're not afraid of silence. In fact, silence becomes your tool. A slight pause at the right moment after saying something confident can make her heartbeat skip. It gives her time to process what you said, to imagine, to feel. Speaking slowly also lets your voice drop naturally. Most men's voices get higher when they talk fast, but when you slow down, your voice settles lower in your chest. That subtle shift is powerful. A deeper tone is felt in her body. It registers as strength. It pulls her into the moment. Even if you're saying something simple, it suddenly sounds more impactful. Try it next time you talk to a woman, even just ordering coffee. Slow it down. Breathe. Watch how people around you respond differently. Speaking slower is seductive not because it's theatrical, but because it's grounded. A grounded man is rare. He doesn't chase the moment. He owns it. Most guys rush because they're afraid of rejection or awkwardness. But here's the truth. Women don't respond to speed. They respond to energy. If your energy is calm, she feels safe. If your words carry intention, she feels curiosity. And if your presence feels steady, she lets her guard down. Speaking slower shows her that you're not easily shaken. That's hot. It's magnetic. So before you worry about saying the perfect thing, focus on how you say it. Slow it all down. That's when she starts listening differently. That's when her thoughts start to shift. That's when she starts wondering what it would feel like to get closer to you. 2. Use low-tone statements. Your voice is one of the most powerful tools you have, and most men don't even use it right. You don't need to shout or talk like someone else. You just need to use what already exists in you, the part of your voice that's deeper, calmer, and more grounded. Women respond to low-tone statements because they carry authority. They carry certainty. They feel masculine. And in a world full of unsure, overly careful men, a man who speaks with quiet confidence stands out like fire in the dark. So what exactly is a low-tone statement? It's not just about pitch, it's about energy. Instead of speaking from your throat or head, you drop your voice down into your chest. You speak with intention. You let your words land. There's no questioning tone at the end. No uptalk, no doubt, just statements. Direct, simple, and self-assured. Here's the key. You don't always need to explain. You don't always need to ask permission. Sometimes just saying it is enough. For example, instead of saying, "Do you want to go somewhere else?" you say, "Let's go somewhere quieter." One is a request, the other is a lead. One gives her control, the other invites her into your frame. Women aren't turned on by hesitation, they're turned on by intention. Low-tone statements carry that intention. And when your voice backs it up with calm delivery, it creates a strong emotional pull. You don't need to be loud, you need to be certain. That's the kind of tone that makes her stop and listen. It makes her body tune in. It makes her wonder what else you're confident about. Practice this. Say something simple, like "come here for a second," but drop it into your chest. Speak slower. Let it settle. Then say it again. But this time add a light, confident pause before and after. Feel the difference? She will too. You're not trying to impress. You're just letting her feel your energy. A man who speaks this way doesn't have to compete. He doesn't need to overshare. He knows what he wants and he communicates it with clarity. That kind of voice becomes unforgettable. It lingers. It sets the tone for more than just the conversation. It creates a vibe, one she starts associating with you. And the more she feels that vibe, the more her body reacts to your presence. Speak in statements, not questions. Lower your tone. And when you talk, don't rush to explain. Let your voice do the work. If it feels calm, direct, and grounded, she'll want to follow it. Because deep down, every woman responds to a man who speaks like he knows exactly who he is. 3. Add strategic pauses. One of the most underrated ways to create sexual tension when you talk to a woman is by using silence, and using it well. Most guys talk too much. They fill every space with words because they're afraid of awkward moments. But that fear kills attraction. It makes you look nervous, ungrounded, and needy. A man who knows how to pause at the right time for the right reason becomes magnetic. Why? Because silence is bold. Silence shows comfort. Silence makes her feel something. Think about it like music. The space between the notes creates rhythm. The same is true in conversation. When you pause strategically, you create rhythm in your speech. You build anticipation. You leave room for emotion, and you take control of the energy between you. Here's what that looks like in action. You're talking to her, and you say something playful, something teasing. But instead of rushing to explain it or soften it, you pause. You let it hang there for just a second. She's forced to react, to think, to feel. That pause becomes a spotlight on your words. It makes her body lean in. That's power. Or maybe you look her in the eye and say something bold like, "You're trouble." And then you pause. You hold the silence for a moment. That's when her breath changes. That's when the tension spikes. Because the pause adds meaning. It adds mystery. And mystery, when combined with confidence, is extremely attractive. Strategic pauses also slow everything down. And in dating, slowing things down creates heat. You're not racing. You're in control. You're making her experience every part of the moment. You're not just talking at her, you're drawing her into your energy. Another advantage? Pauses give you presence. When you're not rushing to speak, you appear more confident. You give off the vibe that you're comfortable in your own skin, that you don't need to impress. And that is impressive. Women don't want to feel like they're being sold something. They want to feel something. The pause is what gives your words room to hit deeper, to carry meaning, to feel intentional. You don't need to overthink it. Just start by being okay with silence. Next time you talk to a woman, after saying something playful, flirtatious, or bold, just stop. Let it sit. Let her feel it. Watch how the energy shifts. Watch how her eyes stay on you. It's not about being dramatic. It's about being deliberate. Even a half-second pause before or after your sentence can create that slow burn effect that sticks with her. When you pause, she leans in. She fills the silence with imagination. And if she's imagining you, you've already won half the battle. The goal isn't to say more. The goal is to say less, with more weight. That's what makes your words feel personal, intimate, and charged. That's what makes her want more. 4. Speak in visuals. If you want to talk to a woman in a way that stirs her emotionally and physically, start painting pictures in her mind. Most men talk in facts. They ask boring questions. They list achievements. They talk about what they do, where they've been, or what they think. None of that creates desire. What creates desire is imagery. When you speak in visuals, you activate her imagination. And when her mind starts to picture you in different scenarios, the door to attraction swings wide open. Here's the key. People feel what they can imagine. So when you describe something, don't just say it. Show it. Use words that trigger the senses. Don't say, "That beach was nice." Say, "It was the kind of beach where the air wraps around you, the breeze smells like salt and sunscreen, and your body just lets go." That kind of language isn't just informative, it's felt. And when she feels what you're saying, she connects with it. Now you're not just talking, you're pulling her in. The same works when you're being playful. Instead of saying, "You're fun," say, "I can already tell you'd be the kind of girl who drags me out in the rain just to dance in it." That line? That's a visual. It's romantic. It's unexpected. And it puts you both in a scene. Women love this. Why? Because their attraction isn't logical. It's emotional. They connect through stories, moments, images, and the man who knows how to drop those visuals into a conversation makes her feel like she's already in something with him. She starts imagining what it would be like to kiss you, to travel with you, to laugh with you in the middle of nowhere. You've now become an experience in her mind, not just a guy in front of her. Another benefit of speaking in visuals is that it makes you more memorable. Guys blur together when they all ask the same questions or give the same compliments. But if you say something vivid, something that feels like a moment, she'll remember it, even days later. And that memory can lead to a message, or an invite, or a moment alone. Practice this in everyday conversations. If she says she likes wine, don't just nod. Say, "I can already picture you on a rooftop with a glass of red, legs curled up, just quietly judging the world." It's a tease. It's a visual. And it gets a reaction. You don't need to be a poet. You just need to see something when you speak, and let her see it with you. Paint small pictures. Let them be playful, bold, or suggestive. But keep them sensory. Keep them real. When she starts picturing moments with you, she's no longer thinking logically. She's feeling. And once she starts feeling something with you, even just in her mind, that's when desire begins to build. 5. Tease with subtext. The words you say are only half the story. What really gets a woman's attention, and holds it, is how you say them and what's underneath. That's where subtext comes in. Subtext is the hidden layer behind your words. It's what she feels even if you're not saying it directly. It's the difference between saying, "You're in a good mood," and saying, "You look like you're up to something." One is surface level. The other hints at something deeper, something flirty, something that makes her wonder if you're reading her or challenging her. Teasing with subtext means you're never just saying what you mean. You're playing in the gray area. You're creating tension by suggesting something without spelling it out. That's where the heat is. That's where desire starts building in the back of her mind. Think of it like this. Anyone can give a compliment, but a compliment wrapped in playful curiosity hits harder. Instead of, "You look great," say, "You're definitely wearing that on purpose." It's bold, it's a little cocky, and it's packed with suggestion. She gets to decide what you meant, and while she's trying to figure it out, she's drawn in. That's the power of subtext. You let her mind do the heavy lifting. And once her imagination is involved, the emotional connection becomes real. Teasing with subtext also shows confidence. You're not over-explaining, you're not trying to be safe. You're making bold little statements and leaving room for her to play with them. That's flirtation. That's chemistry. For example, if she talks about something she loves, you can respond with, "You talk like that because you know you're hard to resist." Now on the surface, that's a joke. But underneath, it's a challenge. It's a flirt. It's a little spark that says, "I see you, and I'm not afraid to say it." Women love this because it's layered. It keeps them guessing. It pulls them into a moment where things feel alive, unscripted, and just a little dangerous. You don't need to go over the top. Subtext is subtle. It's in the smirk after a statement. It's in the way you hold eye contact when you say something that could mean two things. It's in the half-second pause before you respond, like you're holding back something you could say but won't. The more you play in that space, the more you build a private language between you and her, one that feels intimate even if you're surrounded by people. That's how you start to create sexual tension with words alone. The moment she starts wondering if there's more to what you just said, you've got her attention, you've got her thinking, and when she's thinking about you, she's already halfway into the moment. So don't speak just to fill silence. Speak with layers. Tease with meaning. Say things that sound light but feel heavy. That's when she starts smiling for no reason. That's when she looks at you differently. That's when things start shifting from casual to charged. 6. Make it personal. Most conversations stay on the surface. Safe topics, light jokes, repeated stories. That's exactly why they don't lead anywhere. If you want a woman to feel something deeper, something that draws her to you, you have to make the conversation personal. This doesn't mean oversharing or turning things into a therapy session. It means being real, speaking from your core, talking about things that matter to you, and more importantly, making her feel like she's not just talking to any guy, she's talking to you. When you speak personally, your energy shifts. Your voice becomes more grounded. You stop trying to impress and start revealing parts of yourself that show depth, confidence, and presence. That kind of talk? It sticks. Instead of saying, "Yeah, I work in tech," say something like, "I like building things that change how people think. That's why I got into tech in the first place." Now, she's not just hearing your job title, she's hearing your drive. She's feeling a piece of what motivates you. That emotional connection, even if it's small, makes her see you differently. It makes her feel differently. Women are drawn to emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness. When you express your point of view without seeking approval, it's powerful. Say things like, "I'm the kind of guy who needs peace in my space. I can't stand chaos." That's simple, but it's personal. It reveals something, and it gives her a window into your world. Now let's flip it. Ask her personal questions too. Not just, "What do you do for fun?" but, "What kind of day puts you in a good mood no matter what?" That kind of question opens her up. It makes her think. It makes her imagine. And when she shares, listen closely. Respond with something that shows you're really with her in the moment, like, "That actually says a lot about you." Then pause. Smile. Let her sit in that. You're no longer just chatting. Now she feels seen. When a woman feels seen, walls drop. When walls drop, chemistry rises. Making it personal also allows you to create a sense of shared space. You can say things like, "You'd actually drive me crazy in the best way," or "I could see you pulling me into trouble." These aren't just compliments, they're personal insights framed as playful connection. It puts the two of you in a story, a mental scenario. That's where the magic happens. The moment you stop sounding like every other guy, she stops treating you like one. You become someone real, someone who feels like a man with substance, and the confidence to show it. Make it personal, and you'll find that the energy between you changes. The conversation gets heavier in the best way. The eye contact gets longer. The interest sharpens. That's when desire starts brewing, when it stops feeling like small talk and starts feeling like a spark. 7. Create micro-intimacy. You don't have to touch her to build physical chemistry. You don't have to say anything sexual. You just have to create moments, small, subtle moments that feel closer than they should. That's what micro-intimacy is. It's the art of getting close without being obvious. It's when your presence starts feeling like something she can't ignore. And it's the fastest way to build attraction without saying a single thing out loud about it. Micro-intimacy starts with attention, the kind that's focused, calm, and direct. When you're talking to her, don't look around the room. Don't check your phone. Don't shift your eyes like you're unsure of yourself. Lock in. Let her feel that you're fully with her. Most men don't do this. They flinch, they hesitate, they second-guess themselves. But the man who can stay grounded in eye contact while keeping his body language relaxed, he makes her body respond without a word. Next, add in small cues. The way you tilt your head when she says something interesting. The way you smile, just barely, when you disagree. The way you repeat the last thing she said under your breath, like you're absorbing it. These are small moves, but they're felt. They tell her you're not just hearing her, you're tuned in. That level of attention creates a psychological closeness. She starts to drop her guard, and she begins to mirror you without even knowing it. That's when the dynamic changes. Now she's not just chatting, she's connecting. Micro-intimacy also shows up in your voice. Lower it just slightly, slow it down, let it come out smoother. That calm tone becomes a signal. It tells her she's safe in your presence, but it also adds a layer of tension. Because that kind of voice is almost too easy to listen to. It draws her in. Another part of micro-intimacy is shared space. Mention things that subtly pull her closer. If you were sitting here right now, or that sounds like something you'd say in a dark room. These are light phrases, but they work. They place the two of you together in a mental image. They shift the conversation from casual to personal, without needing to say anything overt. One powerful move? Lower your voice slightly when the moment gets a little quieter. Say something like, "You're actually kind of surprising." Then let the silence hold. That soft, low-toned statement paired with a brief pause creates a private moment, one she won't forget. The more of these moments you stack, a look, a quiet tone, a shared laugh, a tiny pause before you respond, the more the space between you and her changes. It tightens, it charges, and she starts to feel like there's something going on, even if no one else can see it. That's the power of micro-intimacy. It's quiet, it's unspoken, but it makes everything feel different. And once she starts to feel different around you, everything else becomes easier. Her walls drop, her mind wanders, her attraction grows, and she starts craving more of your energy, even when you're not around. If you want her to want you sexually, don't rely on flashy lines or fake bravado. Speak in a way that makes her feel. Use your tone, your presence, your silence, and your words to stir her mind and body. Create moments that feel different, moments that stick. Women are drawn to energy, subtle power, and emotional sharpness. When you talk with intention, when you make it personal, when you add tension through pauses, teasing, and visuals, you become the man who stands out, the man who gets remembered. Speak like that and you won't chase desire, you'll pull it in.